Welcome to the podcast. It's Mr. Ish. We're here at Kips Bay Boys and Girls Club, Cordair Clubhouse, and this is episode number 3. Yeah, we're moving along. Episode number 3 of AIM. AIM is it's based on a PBS show author, and he deals with a lot of different things. So this group is watching it or playing different types of games. Today, in episode number 3, does anyone know what this episode is about? Go ahead, just say it out loud.
Generosity.
Beautiful. Generosity. Sometimes I get stuck saying the word. So why don't you guys give me just the definition of generosity?
Kind. Like something kind.
Kind.
Giving stuff.
Giving. What else is a good word that we could use for generosity?
Sharing.
Sharing is the key. Sharing is I think it's the most important part. So being generous, you could be generous in many ways. You could be generous sharing what? Go ahead.
A piece of sandwich.
A piece of sandwich. Somebody's hungry. You see that he's, doesn't have lunch. You could share your sandwich. How else could you be generous?
By giving somebody like $5.
Oh, hey, you want to get $5? You give me $5. You got $5 on you? I'm a little broke. Next time you see me.
Giving your blanket if somebody has no blanket.
Yeah, you could do that.
If you
blanket.
have to.
Sometimes, people are generous, especially during the holidays, like Thanksgiving and stuff like that. People give food to other people. That's a good way to be generous. What's another good way to be generous? Yeah, amongst your friends. What's a good way amongst your friends?
Let somebody watch something with you if they want to.
Okay, so you're gonna share like your tablet or something like that. That happens in my household all day. What's another good way to be generous? Let's say with your friends.
Sharing, like
Yeah, but sharing what?
a piece of candy.
Well, I'm considered your friend. You got any candy for me? No?
No.
Okay, you're not being
Sorry.
generous. You're not being generous today. What's another good way to be generous with your friends?
Giving a paper if they need a paper.
Okay, like in class, they might need a sheet of paper or something like that. Yeah, Leah.
Like if they don't have a pencil and it broke, just give.
Okay, so being generous with your friends in school is just helping them. You might give them a paper, pencil. You might share your give them an item, a candy or something if you have more than one. That's being generous. Now, what's a good way to be generous with your family? It might be slightly different, but let's see. What's a good way to be generous with your family? Do you have one? Go ahead.
Giving them compliments.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice one. What's yours?
Giving them a toy that they like to play with.
Okay, what's another good way?
Watching a movie with them.
Watching a movie with them. I would say being generous with your time. You could share your time with them. For me, it's a big deal because I get home kind of late. So when I get home, like on a daily basis, the last 2 hours when I'm home before my daughters go to sleep, I kind of just do whatever they want. So if they want to play with dolls, I play with dolls. If they want to paint my toenails, I paint my toenails. If they want to do my hair, I do my hair. If they want to watch a movie, we watch a movie. If they want to play on the iPads, I watch TV. But it's just sharing your time. So that's a good way to be generous with your family. Hugs and kisses and ways of affection. Those are great too. Go ahead.
Letting them play on your tablet or phone for like 1 hour or 2.
Oh, that's a long time. What about you, Elliot? You got brothers. How are you generous with your brothers?
Playing with them.
They let you play with them?
I play with them.
You got good brothers. What's another good way to be generous with your family?
Being generous to my brother is giving him hugs all the
Oh,
time.
come on. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hugs and kisses, baby. Those are free, too. You don't have to pay for those. Okay, now what about this one? This is totally different now. Being generous with strangers. How could you be generous with a stranger? Oh, you see, now everybody's thinking. Yeah, we go around the table. We'll start with Elliot.
give them like money.
Okay, you could give them money. Another way to be generous with somebody.
Give him food in case he's poor.
Okay, poor, hungry, maybe less fortunate. Let's use that word. Less fortunate. Maybe they dining out or something like that. That's another good way.
I want to say something about Elliot.
Do that.
What he said about the money. If someone is like poor living on the streets and they're like begging for money, then maybe you should if you like have some money on you, maybe you can give them like a few quarters
Yeah,
and
some spare change.
$5.
Well, $5 is steep. Spare change. Let's put it that way. This is the thing about it. People don't know this, especially kids at your age. Mr. Ish has two jobs, right? Mr. Ish is probably a paycheck away from being poor because most of the money that you make goes into paying bills, taking care of your kids and stuff like that. So if I don't have a job, then I could be one of these people asking for money in the street, or I could be the one that doesn't have any more food in the house or anything like that. So most of the people are a few paychecks away from being poor. So you have to look at it that way. So you never know. You never know. That could be somebody in your family. That could be somebody, you love. That could be you. So it's always nice to be generous. Sometimes generosity comes in many ways, and you could do many things for people. So just not giving them money. Sometimes you may be like, hey, you know what? If you help me do this, like give them a small job. Like if you help me sweep the front of my car, or like when it snows, you tell somebody help me, dig my car out, and then you give them something. They feel like they earned it. Some people just don't want a handout, but it's the intention. If you feel like you want to give to someone, and it's the intention of being generous. How could we be generous to people in let's say here at Kiss Bay Boys and Girls Club? Go ahead, Elia.
Don't hit them.
Huh?
Don't fight them.
Oh, well, don't fight them. That's just a rule. We shouldn't be putting our hands on anybody. So that's not a way of being generous. Go ahead.
Uh, Giving something that you don't want.
Yeah, you could do that. You could give away things you don't want. So let's say you have, 2 packs of crayons, and Elliot doesn't have that many. You could give him a pack of your crayons, so he can have something to color. What's another good thing to do, or to be generous at the Boys and Girls Club?
Not being like unkind to them and just be nice to them.
That's a good one. You could also, at least don't. You could always be generous too by giving people or teaching people. So let's say we were somewhere and you've been fishing before, right? I don't know how to fish. So giving them the knowledge or teaching them how to do it, it's kind of a way of being generous because you're helping them along. So sometimes then when we do programs like this, podcasting, I'm giving you information, I'm teaching you how to do this, I'm giving you ways to express yourself. So I feel like I'm being generous, with what I'm trying to teach you. So these are all great ways to be generous. Now, could we get some of the examples from the author that you had this week? What was one of the examples of the way in PBS that they were being generous?
The way that they were being generous is by like spending time with them, like spending time with your friends.
Okay, that's a good way. What's another one, Ellie?
Like, like PBA kids, like.
Yeah, well, in the stories, or the games or the exercises you did. So one of them was about spending time with the family. What was another good example?
Like giving them a piece of chocolate.
Oh, giving them a piece of chocolate. So if you had a candy bar, different ways of sharing with people. So that's a good one.
Giving money when they forgot theirs.
Okay. So let's say you go to the store, everyone has an item, they forgot their quarter, but they want a bag of potato chips. So then you'd be like, hey, I got $1. So then you could share with them. Maybe this time you buy them a bag of potato chips, and then the next time they will buy one for you. So being kind like that, especially when someone's in a time of need. Um, Another thing is I don't know if or you guys probably haven't dealt with this, but usually, and I don't think it's gonna happen this year. With the ice cream truck, the prices went up too high. But when I take my girls to the park in my neighborhood, they're playing with other little kids and stuff like that. The ice cream truck comes, I just buy ice cream for whoever's playing with my daughter. I'm not buying ice cream for the whole park, but if there's two little girls playing with my two little girls, and then my two little girls are gonna hear the ice cream truck, they're gonna run to daddy. Daddy, I want some ice cream. So they run to me all crazy, and then the other two girls are just gonna be standing there. I'll just be like, come on, I'll buy you an ice cream. So I'll buy them an ice cream. But prices went up, so now I may just, as soon as the ice cream truck comes, I may take them and put them in the car and run away. It's too expensive. Last time, you know what I did? I just went to the supermarket. I got 12 ices for like $3.99, and I would have paid that for one ice cream. So I just bought 12 ices, gave them away. I had one, gave some to my daughters. Whoever was in the park playing, hey, here, boom, boom, boom. Cost me $4. So sometimes you got to be smarter. Got to be smarter than an ice cream truck. So that's something like that you could do. What's another? Go ahead.
Say.
Nah, you raised the hand. I don't know what you raised the hand for, but you was ready to talk, so I'll let you go. So, in conclusion, what's something that we should leave out of here with? Tell somebody maybe that doesn't know about generosity or has never been generous in their life. What's something that each of us will tell them that maybe they could go home with, to our listeners at least.
Okay. So what I was gonna say is, if someone is not like being generous, I would tell them to like, sometimes people are like lonely, so maybe if someone is not being generous, then I would tell them to like spend their time on someone that is lonely and make them like feel included.
That's a nice word, included. So making someone feel included, especially those things don't cost anything. So like if you're all playing basketball and there's one kid on the side and he's not playing, try to get him involved. They'll be like, come on, you could be in my team, or whatever. I'll wait till the next game because I want to play with him. Something like that, so you can make him feel included instead of excluded from the game. So that's a good way. Go ahead.
If somebody doesn't know generosity, you could tell them, and then they could go home, keep learning about it.
Okay, learning. Sometimes people don't know, and there's nothing wrong with that. We all learning every day that we alive. We should be learning something. So maybe this little kid never knew about being generous. Maybe he's the only child and always gets what he wants. So it's hard for him to be like, hey, I got 3 chocolates and I'm not sharing with Elliot because he thinks that he got 3 chocolates. So just showing them and explaining to them how they could be generous. That's a good one. You have one?
Telling them what it feels like.
How good it feels to be generous, right? Sometimes it makes you feel good. That's another good thing, because you're gonna feel like you did something right, like you did something good. So that might put a smile on your face. That may make you feel good. So those are important reasons to be generous.
To what you were saying, some people are not generous, and some people are like, if they have like 3 chocolates, like you said, some people just say, I'm not gonna give you one because you're like mean to me.
Okay. Um, another good thing to tell people, if they're not being generous, because you have to remember, people don't have to be generous. We hope that people are. That's the same way with people having to be honest or having to be or anything like that. You wish that everyone was honest, but sometimes people are not. So sometimes you have to teach them this. So when you might tell them, hey, you know what? It doesn't hurt you to be generous. That may be one of the words that you use or the words that you use. And then on top of that, you could tell them, you never know when this could be you, which is the truth. You never know when that could be you. You never know when you could be the one that's not included in the basketball game, or you're not the one that, we're on a trip and your lunch fell on the floor and your friend has half a sandwich. It wouldn't hurt him if he already ate one half of it, to give you the other half so that you have something in your stomach. It wasn't your fault that it fell, but it did. So now you have nothing to eat. So just being generous would put you in a good mood. It should make you feel good about yourself.
Some people also just is if they have like 2 chocolates. Some kids just some people just likes hogging.
They hog it.
Yeah, they hogging the chocolates for themselves.
Okay,
and
so
not
let's
being generous.
let's use an example right now, right? There's 4 of us here in this podcast. Kind of the example that they used in the PBS. There's 4 of us here. There's 8 chocolates. How are you going to divide it?
Into halves.
Whichever way you want to divide it. You got 8 chocolates and there's 4 people. How are you going to divide it? We're going to go around. How many pieces are you going to give to Elliot?
2.
2 for Elliot. What about him?
2.
2. Ooh. What about me?
2.
Okay, that's 6. What about you?
1.
No, you can't. It's 8.
2.
Okay, 2. So she going around the board. Everybody gets 2. There's 8 pieces. How are you going to divide it?
Give 1 to Elliot and 1 to Jaylene and 1 to you.
Okay. And you're going to keep the other 5?
Now give 2 more to Elliot and 1 for you.
Oh, so you get cut off. So for some reason, he don't like you too much. What about you, Elliot? What are you going to do? You got 8 pieces. How are you going to divide it?
Give Jalen 3 and give him 3 and give you 3.
That you getting extra pieces. 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 9. You only got 8 pieces. So if you give her 3 and him 3, that's 6. There's only 2 pieces left. How are we gonna do that?
Give them all 4.
Give them all 4, so they get 4. He gets 4. She gets 4. Me and you stay hungry.
And you get 4 too.
No, but that's not the numbers. It's only 8. You're giving me 4, 4, and 4 is 12. That's not the right number. I forget it. You messed that one up. All right. How would I divide 8? This is what I would do. I would give you 1, you 1, you 1, and then I have to keep the other 5. I'm gonna keep the other 5. It doesn't mean that we have to split it evenly. It just has to mean that you get something. So I'm gonna keep the other 5. I'm gonna eat my 1 piece, and then when I get home, maybe I'll share with the rest of my family. So that way, or cool. maybe later on I eat another piece. But at least we all got something. I'm not gonna eat the 5 pieces in front of you. I will break it in half, or here's 1, 1, 1, 1. I'll eat mine, and I'll have a few more in the stash. All right, guys. Well, that was a great episode about being generous. Anything else you got to say? This is episode number 3. What is it called again?
Generosity.
Generosity. Yeah, I told you I was gonna stuck with the word. Let's all say our goodbyes, and please listen to the other 3 that we have, which was honesty, and what was the other one, Nicole?
Aim.
You forgot? Aim. I know honesty was 1. Empathy. Ooh. So listen to it. We're gonna try to do one every week. It's very important that we share it. So let's say goodbyes.
Bye.
See you.
Check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Check.
AIM episode number 3. Stay tuned for more.